Hello. Welcome. Welcome to Friday night. Welcome. It's another live draw with me. And I'm Phil. And I may or may not be sporting a tutu below this line. Oh, hi, paper. Hey, if you're here, thanks for being here. Thank you for being here. This is something I do every Friday night. I started this little thing as a way to force an extra hour of productivity out of me on Friday nights, and as a way to engage with people on the internet. Because I'm going to tell you, as somebody who is an extroverted introvert, I don't get out a whole lot unless I have a very specific reason for getting out. And so this is me being social. So what is this? If you're new to this and you're wondering what I'm talking about, I draw on Friday nights for like an hour, and I also talk with you, the viewing audience, if you're here when it happens live. If you're watching this after the fact, hello, thank you for being here, but I won't be able to respond to you directly instantly. You could still write a comment on this video, whether it be on Facebook or YouTube, and I will get to your comment momentarily. But if you're here live, that means you can talk to me now, and I can respond now. That is what live means. So what happened this week? Where did my progress go? Well, I'm currently animating a short cartoon. Why is it called a short cartoon? Well, it's because it's less than 7 minutes. I think you can be anywhere. Well, I don't know where the cutoff is. I know that when you get to 45 minutes, a film is no longer considered a short. It's considered a feature. But I don't know, like, if a cartoon goes over 22 minutes, if that means that it's no longer a short. I don't know where that cutoff is. I should probably find that. I'll do a little bit of digging at some point. But what I'm working on is a short, and I'm doing it by hand. You heard that right. I'm drawing the pages on paper. I'm scanning them in, and then I'm progressing the story in the tiniest of increments. Recently, I have been working on a scene that I have dubbed Scene 6. And Scene 6 is probably one of the hardest scenes I have ever done in animation. It will be approximately 10 seconds long, and I am, as of this week, halfway through it. Now, what I'm currently doing is rough animation, and that entails these drawings that I do in blue pencil. They look like this. This is the rough drawing. This is not the final drawing. It is just a drawing that is designed to set up and establish the story, make sure that I get all the timing worked out, make sure that I hit all of the keyframes, which are the main points of focus for that character in that moment. And then when all of the cartoon is roughed out in pencil, it's over. No, that's not true. When all the cartoon is roughed out in pencil, what I then do is go back and do what's referred to as cleanup. And during cleanup, what will probably happen is I will put on my perfectionist hat. And at that point, I will be, I will have separated myself from the beginning for so long that when I look at it, I will probably go, oh my gosh, how many things do I have to fix? And at that point, I'll start being very, very perfectionist about it and start, maybe doing some redraws, fixing some things, possibly adding in some additional in-betweens. Possible. It's it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Something else, and I'm going to get to the drawing portion of this video at some point, possibly. We'll see. Maybe I'll just delay drawing inevitably tonight, or not inevitably, but what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Perpetually, continually. I was going somewhere with this. Well, where was I going? So something I used to do when I was working on stuff like this and stuff like this, when I was doing the comic strips and the books, I would ink my pencil drawings. I would use Sakura art pens. This is not an ad for Sakura, but I'm just going to say that that's what I used. And I would painstakingly go over all of the pencil lines with ink. And I really loved what that produced, but I didn't love the process because, I don't know if it's just me, probably not, those pens dry up a lot. And they kind of become a pain in the butt. And what I found was the pens were actually slowing me down. My process was getting slower because I was using those pens. So what I've decided with this short cartoon is it might be time for me to evolve away from that, which is something that I've like thought about a very long time, because I've done it the same way for so many years that the idea of like not doing it that way felt strange to me. But then I realized I hate when those pens don't work. I'm sitting there and pushing with this pen nib, and ink is like coming out a little bit and then stopping, and then a little bit and stopping. So I would sit there and I would spend hours inking in these drawings, not because it would take me a long time, but because it was taking the pen so long to cooperate. So what I'm going to be doing with this particular cartoon, I think, is I'm going to be using graphite pencils over top of the blue line pencils and seeing if I can create the same effect by just using graphite and then darkening it on the computer. So it'll be the same basic process, but my pencil won't run out of ink because it won't be using ink. It's a pencil. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. I'm thinking about darkening everything with pencil and not using ink anymore. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. I'm not there yet. I will let you know when I get there. But in the meantime, I'm still doing pencil animation. And tonight I'll be working on the second half of Scene 6. And yeah, so Scene 6 is something that I've been working on for well over a week, possibly 2 weeks now. It has multiple characters. It has dialogue from multiple characters, and it has multiple characters acting and moving around at the same time, which is, again, something that I don't have a ton of experience doing. So what's been slowing my process down a bit on this cartoon is that I keep finding ways to increase the difficulty of the scenes that I'm working on. Now, the scenes that are coming after Scene 6, namely Scenes 7, 8, and 9, I think those are going to be easier. I actually think those are going to be quicker moving. So I'm looking forward to a little bit of reprieve after I finish Scene 6. But I got to tell you, I've watched Scene 6 a lot, and now that I've got the first half of it done, it's really rewarding to look back on it and go, wow, okay, I actually, like, I had a plan. I wanted the characters to move and say these things, and they did, and they do. So, you know, there's something really rewarding about putting a challenge before yourself and then rising to that challenge. I'm not going to claim that it's perfect, but this is kind of like the baseline that I've been working on for this cartoon. In my mind, I have everything set up in percentages. So if I can get a scene looking 90% or better of what I imagine that scene looks like in my head, if it looks like that 90% or better, then I'm moving forward. It's just the rough animation. I don't have to be perfectionist about it yet. I can just get it rough and move to the next part. And the reason why it's more important to do that is because giant projects like this are very intimidating. And I have found, and I've spoken with other creative types who have verified this, momentum is everything. If you lose momentum on a giant project, it can be really, really hard to pick it up again and keep going if you don't keep that momentum. So I don't have a deadline. I don't have an estimation of when this cartoon will be done, but I am pushing myself each week to just keep going, just so that I can keep up the energy, and that will encourage me to kind of keep moving, a little bit further every day. Because you have to remember, I'm only doing like a few, depending on the day. Sometimes I only get a few drawings done in a day. Sometimes more, but I have another job that I do, so it's one of those things where I only have like certain moments that I can sit down and draw. And I'm not a robot, so even if I have like an hour to sit down and draw, I kind of have to get into a certain frame of mind. It takes me a little bit of time before I can start plowing forward. You may be asking yourself, why am I not drawing right this very second? But that's because in the beginning of these hour-long live streams, I kind of, even if nobody else cares, it's kind of a good check-in point for me. I kind of can hear myself like establish where I'm at, and it helps me solidify that. So anyway, I'll show you what I'm going to be working on right now. So the first half of scene 6 features our main character and another character named Spike. Spike has just walked off screen, so Spike is no longer in the picture. In fact, there's a very good chance he's no longer in the picture until the very, very last bit of the cartoon. So that was kind of weird, doing this scene and going, all right, well, see you later, Spike. You're gone for a while. But the main character, the new guy, he ends the first half of scene 6 in this pose. He ends it in this pose. This is where that ends. Okay. And the drawing that I want to get him into it has a very amusing expression. Is this drawing? This is the drawing that I want to get him into. It's not simply about morphing one picture into the next. It's not just about morphing. It's about illusion of light and acting. And so anyway, so what I'm going to be doing right now is working him into that pose a little by little, and then the scene can continue. He is currently experiencing a bit of a personal monologue, a little bit. It's very, very short, just one line of dialogue, but he's talking to himself. So Spike has given him the all-important information of that the store will be opening in 5 minutes. So that puts our hero into a bit of a panic mode. And so he sort of tries to talk himself down. That's where we're at. And so I'm going to go ahead and start working on that. And you are welcome to toss some comments in the comment section. Questions are totally fine. I'll try my best to get to all of them. Oh, I will also say, I was very excited this week. I ordered some more erasers. Now, my pencils do have erasers on them, and I have started to use those because they're actually pretty decent. But the eraser that I love to use so much has become this tiny ball. This is the eraser that I love to use, and it's super small now. And so what I did was I ordered 3 of my favorite eraser. I don't expect them to go back or to diminish anytime soon. But this is my favorite eraser, in case you're ever wondering. If you ever want to send me some art supplies, this is my favorite eraser. But I bought 3 of them, so I'm going to be good for a while, which is very exciting to know that I don't have to worry about that. I will probably continue to use this eraser until it is dust in my fingers, because that's what I do. I like to use things until they're gone. Pencil-wise, I'm doing okay. I had a very good friend of mine send me a box of 12 of these blue pencils. So I'm going to be good. I'm going to be good on blue pencils for a while, which is really great. It's great to be good. This is my current status of the pencil I'm using right now. It's worked its way down a bit. Not terrible. I'm going to sharpen this up and get going. All right, I'm going to turn the music up a little bit. Let's go ahead and move this camera over a bit.
I rather enjoyed that song.
Hi, Best at Star Trek. Welcome. Thanks for joining me, Best at Star Trek. Feel free to check out some other videos of mine when you have time. bud. Thank you for the heart, whoever that was. I appreciate it. Welcome, whoever's watching. It's a quiet night here. This is not one of the more loud audiences tonight. It's pretty quiet. Thanks for the thumbs up, whoever gave that to me. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. Well, my music has come to an end. My playlist has come to an end, and that's kind of something that I've been using as a bit of a timer. So I got a few drawings done, which is good. And I will have to scan these in later and see how they work. Hopefully they progress things forward. We'll see. Sometimes it's a little bit of a guessing game for me, and that's probably because I'm still building up my muscle memory and just still working through a lot of the understandings of the scenes that I'm building. I do feel like I'm getting better as I go, but it's definitely, like, again, in increments. Just like the film is being developed in increments, I am developing in increments as well. Just a little bit of tidying up to do. Thanks for the couple of you that gave me thumbs ups and hearts and all that stuff. I appreciate that. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel on YouTube. It's just under my name. You can follow me also on Facebook as well. And there's a Retail Sunshine page on Facebook. These guys right here. You just go to facebook.com/Retail Sunshine and you will find those characters. And you may have noticed along the bottom of the screen, I've got this little scrolling text, one of which talks about a virtual tip jar. That's just if you feel like doing it. If you want to buy me a cup of coffee, I appreciate that. Or you can become a patron. That right there. Those folks get the inside scoop on what I'm working on, and I usually post it to them first. Speaking of which, I have to give a shout out to Ryan Shaver, who is my highest tiered patron. When you get up to that tier, you get your name shouted out during my live streams. So, if that's a little bit of incentive for you. But thank you to Ryan for being that level of supporter. And thanks to all my patrons, no matter what level you are. I really do appreciate it. All of it adds up. And if you're wondering what Patreon is all about, they just started this new thing where you can sign up for 1 week free as a trial and see how you like all of the content that I'm putting out there. If you enjoy getting access to that, then you can stick on board after that week is over. But that web address is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. But thank you for everyone who is hanging out with me tonight. Please set your reminders if you would like to come back and be here live with me next week and every week after that. It's Friday nights, every Friday night, 8 p.m. Central. I live stream off of Facebook, both on my profile and on the Retail Sunshine page profile, as well as YouTube. You just go to YouTube and search for my first and last name, and you'll find it. Thanks so much for hanging with me this week. I'm really curious to seeing how far I can take this scene in the coming week, because if I'm not mistaken, the second half of scene 6 is not nearly as complex as the first half. I really do think the hard part is behind me on this scene, which is super exciting. I really do feel encouraged by that. It can be hard sometimes. I find that this process puts me very close to the project, and so sometimes it can be hard to tell if it's working, and sometimes I don't know if it's working until several scenes later, and then I'll play everything I did previously back, and watching it in order sort of takes on a new life, and it's like, oh, cool. In context, that scene, works better than I thought, or those drawings I thought I needed to change, maybe I don't need to change. Or also very likely, it sometimes can make me go, wow, I've learned a lot since a month ago, and now that older scene looks like it could do with a bit of a refresh. But the trick is saving those perfectionist thoughts until after I come back and do cleanup animation. Because again, the whole point of what I'm doing right now is roughing out the cartoon. It's not supposed to look perfect. It's just supposed to get me a foundation of drawings that I can then go back and draw on top of. That's the plan. We'll see. This is the very first of its kind for what I'm doing. I did make a 50-second short. It's the introductory credits sequence. I did that back in 2020 just to see if I could pull it off. And I told myself, if I can pull off that, then the next step is to try a full episode. So that's what I'm doing now. We'll see what happens. Thanks for being here. I'll see you guys next week.